Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Redskins. With that, let's get on up to FedEx Field near Washington. Standing by for the call of this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Redskins. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
I remember talking with a scout about him, and he said, you know, I love the fact that he was a high school basketball player. He does so many things with his legs to keep plays alive, but he did the same thing as a basketball player, kind of a point guard, knows where the ball's supposed to go, and knows how to deliver it to the open man.
Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. Pretty move by Shady. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
LaShawn Shady McCoy, one of the best running backs in the NFL. Why? Because of his ability to run the football. He's going to be a 1,000-yard runner year in and year out. But how about his ability to catch it out of the backfield and continue to create big plays?
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, If they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. Brown, the lone receiver, left. Now Breeze. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. As his guys are in for 6. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. Things could just not have started any better for them. They get the turnover, the football right away, able to capitalize on offense for 6.
And we're talking about setting a tone in any game, right? The first points of a ball game. How about during the playoffs? Vitally important, and they've done that in this one.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Rosas now to kick this one away. Returning it, John Ross. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's a look at the starters defensively for Washington. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago. And last week in that victory, they were pretty good. Probably a pretty easy film session, I would imagine.
And after a performance like that, so many people think you just roll into film, take your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the show because they played well. I can just tell you from experience, after a win is when coaches come down on you harder. Because they want to emphasize all the mistakes that happened. Because you won, you're in a good mood. They want to bring you back to earth. Oftentimes you walk out of there and you ask your teammate, did we win last week?
So my assumption was wrong. I learned something.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Shart's got it, left side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
The Seahawks send out their punter. Back deep, Antonio Brown. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, Freeman. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now running right through it. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So that'll back him up 5. A full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Miles Jack coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Breeze now to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Over the middle, complete. It's Taylor. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down. And Rosas puts this one through. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And a second spin. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 1 quarter gone in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. 10-zip our score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Let's go.
Darnold from the gun. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference, because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true. Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
From the gun on third down, Breeze. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference, defense.
So instead of fourth down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because third down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
They run. Devontae Freeman. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On play action, it's Breeze. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Breeze to throw on second down. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him. A nickel look by Seattle on third down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Shotgun now for Breeze. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And the kick by Rosas is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them that they need him late in the game. His confidence should be sky high.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes LaShawn McCoy as he trots back out there now. And he is inching closer to that 100-yard mark.
And that's the goal. That's the benchmark that every runner in the NFL is trying to get to, and he's locked in on it pretty well right now. And I would suspect that his linemen are locked in pretty well, too. They know that if a guy gets over 100 yards, they've done a great job.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion.
Now heavy Redskin pressure, and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And they are going to get the football here with possession 13 yards away from the end zone. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On second down, here's Breeze. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders from 6 yards away. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Darnold. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark able to finally get him for a loss of 16. And it's going to lead to a 4th down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
The Seahawks send out their punter. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And now past another. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Doyle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now Breeze. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is. to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Shaq Lawson's one of those guys that after a while you quit just trying to define him by a position. Defensive end, outside linebacker, doesn't matter. He knows how to get upfield and spill some plays.
So disruptive. What makes him so disruptive?
I think it's strength. If you see his upper body, I mean, he's got some strength up there and some really good hands, but he's got some surprising quickness as well to get him upfield.
Now Breeze. He goes underneath to Freeman. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. It'll be a gain of 4. And just like that, it's 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And Rosas puts this one through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. Here now, a look at LaShawn McCoy. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. Going to drop this off to McCoy, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now it's Darnold. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. With it is Brown. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Taylor. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the second quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Yeah, you got to think he's going to want the ball more. One target, no catches. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Yannick Ngakoue in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 2 yards on that play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. We've already punched 2 tickets to the championship round this weekend. We'll get back to you guys and punch a 3rd in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC Divisional Round game. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's action. in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On third down, that's Freeman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On play action, now Brees. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Now Jones. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may...
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon. Breeze now on 3rd and goal. He's got it. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been an automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Darnold. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. The shotgun snap for Darnold. That's going to be caught by Samuel. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Now Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Freeman again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Breeze on 3rd down. He gets it to Brown, complete. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Breeze now, still just the one incompletion. 16 of 17. It's first down. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. Stops short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Here's Freeman. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a third down. Throwing now is Breeze. And that's complete to Lewis. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down. They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Breeze going to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
From the gun on third down, Breeze. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. In for the score. And this Redskins offense is running away with this one. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point. And that will extend this big lead. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. To throw on second down is Darnold. Throw left side complete. That's McCoy. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. The Seahawks on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Throwing again is Darnold. The open man is Smith. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
After the penalty, it's McCoy. And McCoy loses the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Washington as they come onto the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Coleman now. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
To throw is Darnold. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. McCoy, the lone man in the backfield on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Coleman looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. Here's McCoy. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
Another stop on third down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on fourth down.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Fourth down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, this is by Thema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now it's Freeman. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
This is Freeman. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. That'll put him north of 100 yards receiving now in this divisional round game. That's a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Breeze now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Frank Clark in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looks a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their 2nd meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, that's Freeman. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Darnold. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. The Seahawks on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 9.
Set. 3-19.
Darnold from the gun. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. First catch for him in these playoffs. He was held without one last week, but he's got a first down on that effort.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
To the air again, Darnold. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Frank Clark able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Hurry up. Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Darnold now to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
They go down to a knee, and with that, they're off to the NFC title game. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Redskins as we say so long from FedEx Field.